It's all part of the plan.
So stay calm, even with headlines that are a little bit scary like today's. It says response to attack may be imminent. And on these types of headlines, we've been seeing a pretty big drop in the market across the board today. It was pretty dramatic. But remember, we do have some other news coming in. We had the Hong Kong Bitcoin spot ETF came out today. We've also got just 4 days away from now. We've got the Bitcoin halving coming in, which should be the beginning of the bull run. Even if the price action doesn't reflect that immediately, it will be the beginning of that supply shock to Bitcoin. Plus, with this additional spot ETF, that will be even more buying pressure on top of the US ETFs that have already come out. But surprise, surprise, the day that a big spot ETF came out that we were all kind of waiting for, it was a sell the news event. Now, I know that there were other current events involved in this sell-off. It probably would have been smaller if not for the other current events also happening at the same time. But crypto continues to be a sell the news asset. Every time there's any kind of news, good or bad, it's a sell. It's a better sell it off is all anyone ever does. Now, of course, we are holding still above $60,000. We need to hold above that $60,000. If we were to flush beneath $60,000, we're going to be entering 57, where we might get caught by this candle and this wick here. But we're very likely going to come down into this box down here in the 50s, in the low 50s, if we were to flush beneath $60,000. It might only be for a day or an hour or even just a couple of minutes, but if we get below 60, you're going to see a bit of a waterfall from there as longs get wiped out after that level is breached. So we're watching for that. Hopefully it just holds here and stays flat. Bitcoin likes to stay flat into and for a few weeks after a halving. It likes to kind of be flat, maybe trend down a little bit before it starts to take off. Usually that takeoff is in late June or in July. And that's what I'm kind of eyeballing right now. I'm just kind of holding my positions, just waiting for that late summer run to occur where I can see what is going to happen. And if I don't get that, that's when I start getting worried. Like if I did not get a summer run, like happens pretty much every single year, even in bad years, um, then I would start sweating a bit about some of my positions. But for now, I'm just waiting until that comes around. And of course, this is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever, and it is not financial advice. This is simply my opinions, my thoughts on the market, and the charts that I have here in front of me. So let's take a look at some of our favorite Bitcoin miners today. Today, BitDigital dropped 8.74% and is dropping further in the after hours. Is this the final flush? Is this the bottom? I don't know. But we are outside of the megaphone now. We have now exited the megaphone on BitDigital. We are at we closed the day at $1.88. It is now at 187. We're in a slight piece of resistance where we currently are, but it's not very strong. Honestly, the next strong level of resistance is down at 155. So we could very easily, in the next few days, come down to 155, which would coincide with this descending channel. Now, if we got down to 155, I would feel pretty confident about that being a bottom. If we saw some candles, obviously, if we saw it bounce off of that level, I'd be feeling pretty confident in it as a bottom. Full disclosure, I have been buying basically small chunks of BitDigital every day that it has been down for a couple of weeks now. And I am accumulating a little bit more BitDigital because I expect when this thing does turn around that it is going to be an absolute face ripper when it does that. All those shorts, that 20 some odd percent short interest, that'll get liquidated real fast when we get back above $3. So I am personally investing, I am personally accumulating in small batches on the way down, and then when it starts turning around, I'll probably stop. Of course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. That is just what I am doing with my own portfolio. Let's take a look at Bitfarms today. It went down 4.42%. Bit of a bloodbath today for the miners. We are solidly in my little box here. We actually are almost to the bottom of it. But look right here. Let's zoom right in here. I got this descending channel here. This one, we've been out of this one for 2 days now, so this one is done. Let me actually delete that, clean up my chart a little bit. Goodbye. We come to the absolute bottom of this descending channel, and we got a little bounce. So will this be the bottom of this move? Perhaps. I think from here we're probably going to go sideways for a little while. We are significantly oversold on the RSI. We're at 13.83 on the RSI. Volume has been flat, slightly decreasing for a few days as we fall down here. So that's actually a good sign. So we've got, the only thing I'm missing is a bottom on the VIX fix, but sometimes that fakes you out. You can see it did that back here. We got like 2 days of up move and then just waterfall event. And you can see that if I were to draw a channel around this, this is pretty tight selling formation. This is a very controlled selling formation right here. Once we get out of this thing, once we pull out of this thing, we're going to come out of this thing pretty hard. And I bet you it's very similar in big digital, I bet, if I look at it. Yeah, it's a very tight one. We did a little last waterfall here. This is to shake everyone out, scare the crap out of you. That's what this was meant to do. And then once we do a flip around on here, those shorts will get liquidated. We'll do a face rip and move up. It'll be pretty exciting. Now, it could hold down here for a couple of months. Again, could be a couple of months. We might not see a nice big upswing until July. It could take as long as July, honestly. And if we don't get that in July, that's when I start getting worried about some of these positions. But until then, I'm not worried. I'm just letting it all play out. I'm letting current events bring prices to me, and I will be picking them up at the bottom, and I will hold them in my little basket as we go on up the elevator when the time comes. Clean Spark closed beneath $15 today. We closed beneath $15. This is the second day in a row that we've been beneath $15 on close. We are still falling in the after hours. This is an exceptionally ugly candle, especially off of what looks like a bear flag. So with that said, if the bad news keeps rolling in, and this is in the face of CleanSpark releasing exceptionally good news about their hash rate and the efficiency of their machines on Friday. That gave them no love whatsoever, it seems. So in the face of all that, if this bad news for current events keeps rolling in, CleanSpark is very likely to come down to this $13 level and test that. Maybe even this week. If that cannot hold, if that fails to hold, like I've been saying for a while here, we are coming back down to 11, possibly even into the $10 range on CleanSpark. That is what this looks like right now. Now, is that the end of the world? No, I'll be buying it down there. I'm very happy to purchase it down there. I haven't purchased any where it currently is because I wanted to see, is it going to bounce or is it going to fall? It's leaning towards falling right now. Now I don't have that for sure. I mean, you can see here last time we got a candle like that, the opening the next day was like way up above it. So I mean, we might end up with an opening at $16 tomorrow if there's some kind of good news or some sort of resolution to current events. That could totally happen. So that's why I wait before I do stuff. But right now, this does not look great. So that's all I've got to say about CleanSpark right now. One other thing, exciting thing happened. So if you watch the Cipher warrants here, CIFRW, I got my buy order today. Heck yeah, I did. So it came all the way down to 92.33 cents. I had my buy order at 93 cents. So I got all mine filled at 93 cents. I only bought 500 of these things at 93 cents. And then if it comes down a little further, I do have, and well, I haven't yet, but I will place another buy order for about 83, let's say 84 cents. I'll place another buy order for 500 at 84 cents. And with that, I'll be looking for it to turn around sometime by July. Again, July is my outlook here for the short term move. And I'm looking for it to come back up to potentially this like 160 to 180 range here on CIFRW into this summer. So right now, this was a bear flag. It was a bear flag. There is potential for it to come a little bit further down, maybe another 10 cents or so. But currently, I'm in profit on that because I bought at 92 cents. I do expect it to maybe come down a little bit further, and I will place a buy order about 84 cents is what I'm looking at to put my buy order in on another 500 cipher, and then I'll run it up to $1.80, sell it for like $700-800 profit, and then I'll just rinse and repeat if it comes back down to that dollar level again sometime after the halving. We'll see if it happens. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If it doesn't, then I won't get it again. If it does, good for me. I'll make another $1,000 off this thing. I like that little swing from this area, from like this just sub $1 range up to like the 150 to 180 range. I really like that on CIFRW, and I've played it a couple of times now. I think this is now my third time that I'll be doing that. I got in all three of these, and I've sold. Most of the time I sold too early, but I always sold in profit, so I'm not upset about it. I've only made money on this thing so far. course, this is not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. This is simply me explaining that I liked the price of CIFRW below the 95-cent range, so I picked it up. And if it comes a little bit lower towards the 84-cent range, I'll like it even more down there, and I'll pick up even more. I'll double down there and then wait for that July swing up to take me up into the 150 to 180 range in terms of $1.50, $1.80 on CIFRW. That's what I'm looking for. And if it gets below that, I'd be looking at around 72 cents, and below that, about honestly 50 cents if it gets below 72 cents. That's where we're headed. So that's what I'm doing right now. Try not to panic. It's really all just going to be short-term pain driven by news, current events, and as the news comes out and it comes out bad, we'll continue to see pain in the market. And as soon as the news cycle has forgotten about it in a week or two, we will likely do a rebound on that. And that will also be after the halving when we get our supply crunch on Bitcoin. And we might even see some movement up on Bitcoin around that time as well. But do keep in mind that seasonally, Bitcoin tends to go sideways into and after the halving, maybe to a slight dip after the halving for a couple of weeks or months before it does just and it starts to do that epic run that we're all so eager for it to do already. So with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.